Akakievich Bashmatkin was a low-ranking clerk in the vast machinery of the St. Petersburg bureaucracy. A man so quiet and unremarkable that his presence barely registered with those around him. From the day he entered the department, he had been given the most monotonous of tasks, copying official documents, line after line, day after day. Yet he approached this work with a devotion that others could not understand. While his colleagues sought promotion, gossip, or diversion, Akaki found his only joy in the neatness of his handwriting and the steady rhythm of his pen. He lived alone in a small bare room, eating simple meals without tasting them, going to bed early, and rising only to return to his desk. His clothes were worn, his manners timid, and his voice barely above a murmur. The younger clerks mocked him openly, dropping scraps of paper on his head, inventing absurd rumors about his life. He endured it all in silence, only protesting when they interfered with his work, pleading softly for them to leave him alone. As the bitter Russian winter approached, the icy winds of St. Petersburg began to cut through his thin, threadbare overcoat. It had been patched and mended countless times, but now the fabric was so worn that there was nothing left to repair. Reluctantly, Akaki carried it to Petrovich, a one-eyed tailor known for his skill and his fondness for drink. Petrovich examined the coat, tugged at the seams, and finally declared that it was beyond saving. The only solution was to make a new one. The price he named was far beyond Akaki's modest salary. At first, the thought seemed impossible, but as the cold deepened, the idea of a new coat began to take hold in his mind. He resolved to save every kopeck he could. He cut back on food, stopped lighting candles at night, and walked carefully to avoid wearing out his shoes. Each small sacrifice brought him closer to his goal. Months passed in this quiet struggle. Then, with the help of an unexpected bonus from his department, Akaki finally had enough. He and Petrovich chose a sturdy cloth and warm lining, and the tailor set to work. 2 weeks later, Petrovich delivered the finished coat, thick, handsome, and warm, with a collar of fine cat fur. When Akaki arrived at the office wearing it, his colleagues were astonished. They admired the workmanship, congratulated him, and insisted on celebrating. That evening he attended a gathering at a co-worker's home in a wealthier district. Though shy and out of place, he felt a rare sense of belonging as people complimented his coat and offered him champagne. It was late when he set out for home. The streets were dark and nearly empty, the snow crunching under his feet. As he passed a dimly lit corner, 2 figures emerged from the shadows. Before he could react, they seized him, tore the coat from his shoulders, and vanished into the night. Shaken and freezing, Akaki returned home without it. The next day, he went to the police, but they showed little interest. Friends advised him to appeal to a high-ranking official, an important person who might intervene. Summoning his courage, Akaki presented himself at the man's office, but instead of sympathy, he received a cold lecture on proper procedure and was dismissed without help. The loss of the coat, combined with the harsh winter air, proved too much. Within days, Akaki fell gravely ill. Alone in his bed, feverish and weak, he drifted in and out of consciousness. No one came to his aid. In a matter of days, he was gone, a quiet death for a man who had lived a quiet life. Yet, the story did not end there. Soon, rumors began to spread through the city. On certain nights, near the Kalinkin Bridge, a ghostly figure was seen. A small man in shabby clothes, stopping passers-by and demanding their overcoats. Those who resisted had their coats snatched away by unseen hands. One night, the specter confronted the very important person who had once dismissed Akaki. The official, terrified, surrendered his fine coat without a struggle. After that, the ghost was never seen again. It was a symbol of dignity, of hope, of the small joys that can give meaning to an otherwise invisible life. And in its loss, Gogol showed how fragile those joys